The Dark Elf advisor began to speak of the Elvish Conclave, giving our heroes the lay of the land. Here are his words about the three kingdoms, Draconia, Ruskia, and Sherwood. Draconia was once a pillar of light to the world. Knowledge and wealth flowed to and from its borders, and the High Elves prospered. That was many ages past, though, and while knowledge was retained, reason soon gave way to pride. The king of the High Elves sits in a golden tower, lording above the mighty city of Prague. High Elves, in his opinion, are truly the only worthy race of Antiochus, and while he will tolerate the Drow and Wood Elves, his arrogance has led him to the hatred of all other races, most notably the Dwarves. His armies hold good sections of Ruskia against the Dwarves, yet frustratingly, the stubborn short folk seem to be slowly pushing them back towards Draconia. Due to this fact, the border cities have been evacuated, and once large fields of wheat now are large fields of weeds. It has hurt the proud kingdom, but further the resolve. Young elves that used to till their fields now eagerly rush to join the army. While the crop fields to the south still retain their abundance, something must be done to push back the dwarves before all is lost. Ruskia is the closest elven lands to the dwarves that reside in the Dugong, and while it used to be a place of natural beauty, massive civilizations lived under the soil in huge drovish cities, leaving the world above to simply grow wild. It is said that the Wood Elves used to congregate above their darker-skinned cousins, but that was some time ago. Now the ground has been churned with ash and soot. The war between the elder races has completely destroyed all forms of life on the surface. Black smoke from massive war machines dim the sun in a haze, while wild magic from treacherous elven sorcery crackles in the air. Under the surface, the war has pushed the Drow to the brink. Their massive economy now nothing more than a joke as they scramble to keep the dwarves at bay. Many a great city now remains empty. The Elves are pulling back. The only city that still stands in all of its glory is Moscow, ruled with the iron fist of High Priestess Mistrike Krasota, whose dark and stealthy tactics have kept the Ice Kaiser dwarves at bay, but for how long, no one can truly say. Of all the Elvish lands, Sherwood is by far the smallest and least affected by the war. While they have sent a paltry few soldiers to the front, they have become the triage of the Conclave. All wounded soldiers end up within the borders of Sherwood before they return to the front lines. Once the Wood Elves were known across the whole continent under many different names: Moon Elves, Fairy Folk, People of the Forest. They have slowly dwindled to the hidden places of the world. Now, their last great foothold in the world is Sherwood, a dense and wild forest. Large cities are gently carved into the massive trees of the forest, or simple huts are built on the branches. Some of the elves in smaller communities can go for years without touching the ground, preferring to stay in the trees. The land and its people have prospered under the wise rule of King Rantonus, and while he supports the Conclave, he has for years tried to find a viable alternative to war. Over the last 10 years, he has painstakingly opened up channels of communication with Ice Kaiser, against the wishes of the High Elf King, Tehran, but with the support of Mistrike. These talks faltered and almost failed because of the slaughter of Basok. The rumors that it was caused by the dwarves nearly crushed all negotiations. With things unwinding, a new ally has bolstered the king's resolve, and hopefully, peace talks will resume.